Welcome back to my channel. I'm starting a new project today. This one's a collaboration. Who's it for? Well, stick around. I'll show you shortly. Welcome back. What I'm starting on today is called a collaboration. And what I'm doing is I'm making a sign for a large YouTube channel that's out of the RV sector on YouTube. And their channel is called RVTexasY'all. And it's Tom and Stacie, and they're out of the Houston area. That's their home base. But they don't have a home. They're full-time RVers in their Class A motorhome. But what they do is they like to travel all the Texas state parks and the private parks and a lot of the resorts all around the state of Texas. But they're big Texas history buffs. And they'll tell you what particular happened in Texas history based upon the area that they happen to be camping in at the time. But on top of that, they have phenomenal videos. Their photography is superb. And they'll give you tips and tricks on RV camping, whether you're full-time or part-time, whether you're in a motorhome. You can expect all kinds of different information to be disseminated out from Tom and Stacie. Cooking, they go over cooking and meal preparations, tips on packing and preparations, things to do on travel days, and all sorts of information. So they do a phenomenal job with their channel. That's the reason that they've got thousands of followers. And so I'm tickled to death that Tom agreed and Stacie agreed to allow me to make this sign for them in exchange for them giving me a shout out on their channel. So Tom sent me their logo and gave me permission to work with their logo. I worked up some drawings, we made a few changes, and then once we captured the image that they wanted to see, they gave me the approval to go with it. So what I did off camera was I went ahead and I cut the sign down to size. And so next thing we're going to be doing is running this through the planer and getting us a good smooth surface, and then I can get the stencil laid down and we'll get the image transferred, and then we can get after it and start making us some man glitter. So hang on, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Get that sanding pad out of the way. The planer gives us a pretty good start, and but not where I want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and sand it with my orbital sander, and then I'll also finish up with this little hand disc sander that I made. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working on getting this smooth like I want it, and I'll do front and back sides both. And then I'm going to work on getting the edges done around, and I'll work on the two sides and the back, and the last one I'll do will be the live edge. So I'll be using a combination of my random orbital sander, and then, like I said, this little hand sander that I built. It's got a Velcro pad just like my sander does, so I can change out the grits real easy. So nothing left to do but just get after it. So here we go. I'm gonna work on the top side first. Looks and feels real good, so we're going to flip it over. We're going to do the same side thing over here, and this looks pretty good, so I don't need to fill up anything. We're just going to sand it. Here we go. Okay, we'll do more sanding on it as we go on, but like I said, this is the back side. So, all right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand on the sides, and I'm going to let that sand on this side over here, but I'll show you what I'm doing. All right, I didn't want to take all of the beauty of the live edge off, so that's the reason I didn't sand it all the way down, but I did just enough to break the sharp edges so that we don't have anybody getting themselves hurt with it. And just gonna do some light touch sanding with it. Now, I don't want to do a whole lot to it. And I kind of blended in this knot right here. I wanted to leave that because that's a pretty feature of the board. And so I just kind of worked it in so there were no sharp edges for anybody to get hurt on. So now we'll just continue with some hand sanding. Man, it sure makes my shop smell good. Okay, now this is getting us real close to where I want to be with the finish, so I can get the transfer done. And while I'm here, might as well just touch up the back right quick. All right. Now I'm going to do some decorative edging around the three sides over here, just to break the sharp edges here and just kind of blend it in, make it pretty and dress it all up. But I'll decide that after I get through doing all the carving and stuff. I'll let the board tell me what it wants to have done to it. So you just kind of got to listen to the board, let the board tell you what it wants. So let me take that little off. There we go. All right, so I'm going to pause it right now. I'm going to go get the stencil, and I'll be right back, and we'll lay the stencil out and shoot some ink, and we'll get ready to carve. So hang on, I'll be right back. This is the stencil that we're going to apply. I have more detail on the bus that I need to do and on the Jeep, but I'll work that in after I get it all down there. Get ready to carve. I'll come back and I'll draw in my lines that I need for that. So anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to peel off the backing and reveal us our stencil and try to get that laid down and see if we can get it to stick. All right, and I'm going to do this from the back side and work it across this way. This is a little bit different process than what you would do for a car decal. And we got it. Okay, so we're going to stick it down right there. Okay, so now we take the squeegee and we work from the middle out, working our way down. Okay, all right. So now we got it down. We work all the bubbles out of it. Now we got one more reveal to do. We got to get the transfer tape up. Hopefully this will come up okay. All right, so now position it. Let's see if we get past the last of the letters. And we did. So now, the next step, whew, we take a breath. So, I'll give you all a view of what it looks like. So, like I said, I've got some more lines and stuff I have to draw in here, but I'm going to go ahead and shoot the black on all this, and then I can come in a little bit later on and I can work in the lines that I need to do on the camper, because I still have some things I need to do here. And I'll get those worked out, but this is the easiest way to do this. So the next thing to do is to go ahead and tape off what's not covered. Tape another one down right there, just kind of womp us out of the way, and that won't hurt anything. So now everything is protected. So the next thing we're going to do is shake up the marsh ink, which is what I'm going to spray all of this with. Now we just take a light coat, short bursts. Okay, so now it doesn't have to be solid black. Mainly what we're looking for is around the edges, so we know exactly where we want to carve. So this, my good friends, is going to be a wrap for day one of RV Texas, y'all. We're winging it. This video's been running a little bit longer than what I anticipated for it to be. So we're going to call this done for the day, and tomorrow we'll start in on the carving, and I think it's going to be a fun one to carve, so we'll get after it. So I want to take a moment and ask everybody if you would hit that like button, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, you might as well go ahead and ring the bell. And I'm going to ask you if you would please share my channel and my videos with your family and friends. And the last request I have, leave me questions and comments. I'll be glad to answer every one of them. I take every one of them to heart, and they mean the world to me that you've taken a moment to ask me a question or make a comment on what I'm doing. So I will see you tomorrow. This is a wrap up for video number 1 of RV Texas, y'all. Thanks a lot.